Now on Nightside, members of the Meade High School community are mourning the loss of one of their own. We'll show you the growing memorial for a 16-year-old killed in a crash.
The heavier rains have tapered off, but the wet weather isn't stopping yet. I'll have your weekend forecast.
Another local school targeted by swatting. While the threat at Ridgeline High School was false, it felt very real to the students. Hear them describe the ordeal coming up. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Well, a Spokane stormwater tank has been breached and the contents are now flowing into the Spokane River. That's according to the city. Thank you for joining us for Nightside. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. The leak happened at Downriver Park and the city says the water was diverted to holding areas along the river where it can be treated by bioengineered soil. But Spokane Riverkeeper says it is, quote, deeply concerned about the potential impacts on the Spokane River, going on to say that it is saddened and disappointed to see this project struggle with the current rainfall, as this new infrastructure should be capable of withstanding storms of this size. We have had quite a bit of rain this evening. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joining me now. Are we going to get a break?
We are going to get a break, and we have had a fair amount of rain over the past 3 days, but nowhere near a record. So I understand where the Riverkeeper is coming from. We've had 86/100ths of an inch of rain at the airport in Spokane. You may have had more at your house. We have had a lot of precipitation over the region, but some of the heaviest precipitation was happening right in Spokane. Year to date, over 12 inches. We've made a lot of ground up over the past few days. We're getting closer to our year to date average with this latest rainfall. Zoomed in on our Doppler radar right now, the dark yellows and reds of earlier this evening are now green, and we're even seeing a little bit of a break in parts of Spokane right now. Lighter rain through Spokane Valley and into Coeur d'Alene. As we zoom out, though, we do find some heavier rain south of St. Mary's, around Potlatch, heading down toward Colfax and north of Pullman. All of this precipitation, it looks like there's a back edge here, but really it's continuing to stream up from the south and will continue to do so through tomorrow morning. Our 12-hour precipitation chance, we're at 100% at midnight, and it slowly tapers off. Finally, we're down to about 30% by 10 o'clock in the morning, and that will continue to decrease as we head through a mostly dry Saturday day. Here's your Saturday forecast. 45 our high temperature, 40 is our average high, with that chance of rain through about noon, and then things begin drying out more significantly. I'll be back with the second half of your weekend forecast, plus looking out toward Thanksgiving in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
We don't want to miss that. Thank you, Chris. Well, another swatting incident sent one of our local schools into lockdown today. Liberty Lake Police received a call from someone claiming to be a crisis support staff member at Ridgeline High School. The caller told police they received an online message from someone saying they had guns in the bathroom and made threats to harm several people within the school. When police arrived, they quickly determined this to be a hoax. A few students said this lockdown, though, felt very real.
Boom, constant ringing. It was like the lockdown drill, but it was like way louder. So I was like, this feels like really real. And the sub had no idea. Like the sub was super confused. So I was just like, it's gotta be real. So I was just, my heart started pounding a little bit.
School did resume as normal, but many parents showed up to pick their kids up from school for the day. Liberty Lake Police say there is no threat to the public. They are actively investigating this threat. Tonight, the Meade community is mourning the loss of a 16-year-old student killed in a tragic crash. Just 3 weeks ago, Meade High School junior Parker McInerney was celebrating homecoming with his friends. And now those friends are paying tribute to the student athlete. Parker McInerney died yesterday morning after the Spokane County Sheriff's Office says his pickup hit a tree on Rudder Parkway near Dorset Road. He was the only person involved in the crash. This new video of the crash scene shows the damage, the impact of that car had on the tree, which is only a couple of feet away from the roadway. Parker was a football player and competed in track and field at Meade High School. And tonight, flowers, photos, posters, and letters were arranged in his parking spot from friends left heartbroken from the sudden loss. Another makeshift memorial is also growing at the crash site, where people have left flowers and a stuffed teddy bear. Meade High School will continue to offer a crisis team and counselors to students and staff beyond the Thanksgiving break. The sheriff's office is still working to find out what caused his truck to go off the road. Well, a new health clinic is coming to Ferris High School. There's still no word yet on who will operate this clinic. Students, though, will be able to get regular checkups, physicals, and refills on their medications from school. Makes it a lot easier. It will also provide mental health resources. Similar clinics already exist at Shadle Park, North Central, and Rogers High Schools. Every Town for Gun Safety, a national gun safety organization, announced today $70,000 in grants to 7 organizations nationwide. And one of those organizations is Spokane's Regional Domestic Violence Coalition. The group partners with law enforcement and other agencies to focus on prevention and education to put an end to domestic violence. DV is an issue that plagues our nation, and according to the YWCA, the presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation makes it 5 times more likely that a woman will be killed. With this grant funding, officials are establishing a local domestic violence fatality review board to hopefully get a better understanding of how these deaths can be prevented.
By reviewing the case, we're able to see if there were any systems providers who came in contact, if there were any advocates who came in contact, if there was an opportunity to provide services that wasn't taken. And it's not a blame game for anybody. It's simply an opportunity for us to learn better what that story looked like and how we may have been able to intervene before the fatality took place.
Now, the coalition is hopeful that this will help improve what it looks like here in Spokane for domestic violence victims. A former editor for the Spokesman Review will be sentenced Tuesday after being arrested last year on child pornography charges. This is video from Stephen Smith's first appearance in the case last August. According to the newspaper, Smith intends to change his plea next Tuesday, and he will also be sentenced the same day. Investigators accuse him of having minors send him sexually explicit videos and pictures in exchange for money through the Cash App. Smith was the editor for The Spokesman from 2002 until 2008. He also taught journalism at the University of Idaho. Idaho State Police are investigating a crash that killed a child and left 4 people hurt north of Sandpoint this morning. The Bonner County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened on Highway 95 in Cindy Lane, about 20 minutes north of Sandpoint. Investigators say a 61-year-old man driving a pickup was heading south when he crossed into the northbound lane to try to pass several cars. And that's when he is said to have crashed head-on into an SUV. 4 people were rushed to the hospital, but the child in that SUV was pronounced dead on the scene.
The Spokane Chiefs Hockey Club has been on a swing set this season with an up and down start. All of their 7 November games, no consecutive wins or losses. But tonight gets a chance to break that streak in a positive way with the matchup at the Everett Silvertips in the club's first meeting this season. Silvertips up 1 into the second period, puck bouncing behind the netminder after the block. Owen Shetler at the blue line, and what a snipe. He scores and brings this game even at 1. Inside the final 2 minutes of the period, Braden Crampton's long slap shot saved a tussle at the goal. Spokane comes out with another score. Shea Van Olm credited Chiefs lead. We're tied again. Third period, Mathis Preston's shot redirected. Van Olm again. What a tap, earned in his second goal, 3-2. But we need more to decide after a late Everett goal. Berkeley Catton, the Kraken first rounder, absolute class, taking the shootout lead. And back to the Silvertips, their last chance. No good. It's wide. Back-to-back wins. Spokane secures it in a thriller in Everett. Dawson Cowett with the game-winning save. Now, that's all for First Sports, so check us out later in the show for more on the college basketball Thanksgiving tournaments, plus some high school football updates.
A new grocery store is open in downtown Spokane, one of very few options in the area. see what else will be added to the store. Coming up, how Spokane International Airport is making your trip a little smoother just in time for holiday travel.
I swiped tonight's pick of the night from the Schweitzer Facebook page. It was opening day at Schweitzer, and I understand the conditions were like much later in the season. Lifts open and things were great. A little wet today, but the snow levels are dropping and things are only going to get better. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Custer's 48th Annual Christmas Arts and Crafts Show.
Mainstream has proudly served Greater Spokane and Northern Idaho for over 20 years, offering reliable and high-quality home services. Our exceptional team is committed to delivering trusted plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical solutions that ensure the comfort and safety of your home. Our goal is to provide the best experience possible when it comes to repairing, maintaining, or installing systems that make your home a more comfortable place to live. Because we are home services, we are Mainstream.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year.
Shop Pink Friday deals at Dave Smith.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Spokane's grand holiday tradition lives downtown at Christmas Tree Elegance in the Davenport Hotel and River Park Square. Fabulous packages are raffled to support our symphony. Feel the spirit December 3rd through the 15th.
Are you ready to rock back and forth? Does God ever call you and ask you for stuff?
I heart you. Can we get rid of that?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new weeknights on ABC.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on a new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi Sales event.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gold Seal Plumbing.
Welcome back. A new grocery store is opening in downtown Spokane, and its owner hopes it will make downtown safer. Downtown Grocery 3 is what it's called, and it's open on Sprague Avenue on the corner of Sprague and Stevens. The owner says he wants to keep prices low to make it affordable and convenient for people who live downtown. He will also have his own security team at the store to help customers feel safe.
When we face problems like this, we don't run away from it. And by just persisting and believing, it will restore again, and it will be a beautiful place.
The owner also plans to open a laundromat and liquor store in the same building. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joining me now. It was tough to get outside today and not get wet.
Yeah, absolutely. I kept seeing snacks in that store that looked really good right now. You'd have to make a run for it to go to the store to get some snacks. We're getting a little bit of a break, but it is not going to last long. There's more wet weather coming in overnight. And then showers on Saturday. I'm going to show you the graphic in a moment, but it is going to be mostly dry unless you're a real early riser, and I assume if you're up watching us tonight, you're not going to be up at the crack of dawn. Mostly dry on Sunday, cooler and drier next week. In fact, presently, it looks like next week is going to be a dream in terms of travel for Thanksgiving, and it does appear that Thanksgiving is going to be dry as well. Not dry across the region right now. Let's do our forecast radar through the overnight, and this back edge is deceiving because we are continuing to see precipitation streaming up from the south, and it will continue to move in through the overnight. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, so no need to set your running shoes next to your alarm for 7. Wait a little bit, and then we do start to dry out more meaningfully by about noon. Our snow level is also going to be dropping as well, and then we have a nice dry Saturday night if you're heading down to River Park Square for the tree lighting or getting out for some Saturday night fun. You should be in good shape. Finally, Sunday morning, here's 9 o'clock. A system passing by to our north and west is just going to clip the Okanagan Highlands and valleys with a little bit of snow, but it should stay north and west of Spokane County. And then we're dry Sunday night, but there is a chance of a little bit of snow Monday morning. Let me show you the snow level forecast. Now today, it was up between 6,000 and 7,000 feet for part of the day, but we'll be down to 3,500 tomorrow. That's up above the ski resort lodges. Then it drops down pretty close to the valley level early Sunday morning, 3,000 feet on Sunday. And then Monday, we have a weak disturbance coming in the morning. And if the timing is right, there could be a skiff of snow for your Monday morning commute. Just something to keep in mind. Back up to 3,000 feet during the day and then around 2,500 Tuesday. However, by then, it looks like we are going to be staying dry. Tomorrow morning, it's not going to be snow. It will be rain with temperatures in the 30s, and these are on the low side. We have been holding steady in the mid 40s this evening and likely will not drop much. Saturday's high temperatures about 5 degrees above average, will be in the 40s in most locations. Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry the exception, in the 30s. In your planning forecast, just a slight chance of a sprinkle on Sunday, and then that system comes in Monday morning that may bring a little bit of light snow. A 20% chance of precipitation for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, but dry on Thanksgiving. High of 37. By this time next week, that's going to be about average. Our average high will be in the 30s. And Thanksgiving Day, looking pretty good, actually. I've never done that Manitou Park turkey trot. I think this might be the year.
We talked about it last year, but I was I just had the baby.
Oh.
I just had Noah. So we couldn't.
You did it.
No, we couldn't do it. I did it the year before that.
Oh, okay.
So this is our year.
Done it. I've done it 0 times.
Okay.
You've done it once. Let's both do it.
It's walking distance. We're going to do it.
Okay, done.
And it's perfect weather. All right, thanks, Chris. Hey, we've made it through the busiest travel day for flyers before Thanksgiving. TSA expects more than 18 million people to pass through security across the country for the holiday period. Meanwhile, Wednesday is expected to be the biggest travel day for drivers. And just in time for that holiday travel, Spokane International Airport is making your trip a little smoother. It just added more than 800 new parking spaces. You can see the expansion to the C concourse parking here on your screen, doubling its capacity. The nearly $6 million project is the most recent growth to the airport following the expansion of Concourse C about 6 months ago. The airport says this will help during these busy seasons and in the long-term expansion and growth of the airlines in our market. Regardless of where you park, whether outside in the garage or the economy lot, travelers should arrive 2 hours before their boarding time. Meanwhile, the Coeur d'Alene Airport is making changes to address community growth. It recently finished up constructing its own air control tower made out of shipping containers. Take a look here. This along with new hangars that have to be built to address the growing demand as more flights come into the airport.
Our airport director, being very resourceful, was able to get Connex containers and stack them and have them secured to the ground so that they could put a little tower or a little office up there with glass around it. He was able to do that for about $300,000.
The Federal Aviation Association would have charged upwards of $20 million to build the same tower. New dorms are coming to the University of Idaho campus. The $162 million construction project is for family and grad student housing and newly renovated undergraduate dorms. Jody Walker, the executive communications director, says the dorms come at a good time as the schools just saw their largest freshman class in history.
We are in our 7th consecutive semester of enrollment increase, definitely bucking a national trend. And I think it's because we continue to be a great value.
Walker says some of the dorms on campus have not been upgraded since 1970. The school expects the apartments to be ready by August of 2026, and the dorm upgrades should wrap up by August of 2027. Well, 4 News Now will be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox Premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
Well, we're making our Thanksgiving plans, and for many that means it's time to roll up your sleeves and start planning your feast. The City of Spokane is sharing some easy tips to make your holiday a success, from preparation to disposal. So when it comes to grocery shopping, only buy what you need. That means make your list and stick to it. And if you have unused items, consider donating them to your nearest food bank. As you prepare your Thanksgiving meal, set aside a bowl and collect all your food scraps there. Then you can save them for leftovers or put them in your green bin.
Food insecurity is a big deal, and so if we're not maximizing the things that we have and not, using them for other recipes, different things, that's really a shame, right? So we want to make sure that we're getting everything we can out of the food that we do have.
The weekly pickup of your green yard and food waste bin ends next week. However, the City of Spokane will have a full week of collection in early January. For more tips to help minimize food waste, you can visit KXLY.com. Well, more people are getting sick this time of year. That's just reality, and there's a lot of travel to help spread that illness. So if you want to take some steps to protect yourself and others, now is the time to act. Dr. Jennifer Brohl with the American Academy of Family Physicians says vaccination can help protect against flu and COVID for anyone 6 months and older. There's also an RSV vaccine for pregnant women and older adults.
The best time to get your vaccines this season, if you haven't done so already, is today.
Also, keeping your hands clean, covering coughs and sneezes, wearing a mask, and staying home if you're sick will help stop the spread of germs. We know that. The CDC says right now RSV cases are up while COVID and flu activity is still low, but those numbers tend to change after big holidays. And while the holiday season is all about celebrating with friends and family, it is important to be safe on the roads. And that's why the Idaho Transportation Department says there will be more law enforcement officers out there looking. Officers are going to be especially cracking down on people not wearing their seatbelts. ITD says 85 people in Idaho died in car crashes last year. and they were not buckled up. It also says wearing your seatbelt lowers the risk of death by 45%, and it lowers the risk of serious injury by 50%. Around the nation, kindergartners in Texas may soon be learning about Jesus in school. The state school board voted to approve a new curriculum by the state's education agency. That curriculum includes Bible stories. One lesson for kindergartners explains how Jesus taught the Golden Rule during his Sermon on the Mount. Schools don't have to use the curriculum, but schools that do will receive an incentive of $60 per student. Before the vote, the board heard arguments for and against the idea.
If you're talking to a child in kindergarten about resurrection, they're going to take that at face value.
There are several times in literature, in history, and art where the Bible is referenced, and a lot of students don't understand where that comes from. So the Bluebonnet materials go at liberty to explain.
Right now, the law is scheduled to take effect in August, but it will likely be challenged in court before then. Still ahead, Jack has more on the Thanksgiving basketball tournaments, plus a look at Eastern Washington women's hoops in Hawaii.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Inland Imaging.
It's time to come together because we're
counting down to Thanksgiving. Love it. Cannot wait for that.
GMA, saving you money, real money, helping you cook up your best Thanksgiving ever.
Michael, what a great investigation. Are you the turkey cutter? I'm a turkey eater. Yeah!
Plus, stories to give thanks for.
A Thanksgiving miracle.
Amazing Americans, inspiring and bringing the good to your morning. It's everything to give thanks for every morning.
Makes you feel so good.
The countdown to your best Thanksgiving is on.
Good morning, America.
It's Christmas in November, this week at both Cal locations in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene, with big markdowns on all four-wheel drives.
Plus, we're giving away a new set of WeatherTech formats with every purchase.
This week at Cal.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
Black Friday is almost here, and now is the time to look for deals, especially on new TVs. I will show you how to find the best price and avoid buyer's remorse. That's Monday on Good Morning Northwest.
The idea of owning a home was a really big dream of mine. It felt kind of like a pipe dream. When I think of a mortgage advisor, I think of someone who is stuffy, not approachable or friendly. But then we went to BECU and I met Lauren. She was like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how you make it happen. This is how you buy a home. And it wasn't scary or overwhelming. My mortgage advisor changed my life and my family's life.
BECU, we're here to help.
There's always so much to be thankful for, not just on Thanksgiving, but every day. And while plenty of TVs will be tuned into the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade or the Cowboys and Lions this Turkey Day, I know mine will, but there will be plenty of excellent college basketball to watch the whole holiday week. The 4 Gonzaga and Washington State men and women's basketball programs all escaped the rain and cold this week in the inland Northwest for a slice of paradise in the Bahamas, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and California, all looking to compete with some very solid fields. All 4 teams enter this weekend with winning records, and both men's teams go directly to said tournaments so they get a little extra break. For the women, they both have last-minute matchups before those long flights as Gonzaga travels to New Mexico and Wazoo to Iowa both this Sunday. So now here's a look at what we're sort of getting at next week. Gonzaga men at the top. They travel to the Bahamas, battle for Atlantis tournament, where they play West Virginia the day before Thanksgiving, and then will play the winner of Indiana and Louisville if they get past the Mountaineers. For the Zag women, they go to St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands for the Paradise Jam tournament, and they're already locked into their 3 games, at Missouri State up first, then Texas Tech and Florida State. Washington State men head to the opposite climate in the hot and dry Palm Desert, California. The Cougs to face Fresno State on Tuesday and play either SMU or Cal Baptist the next day. Lastly is the Wazoo women, who earned a trip to the Discover Puerto Rico Shootout. They face Norfolk State Thursday, Virginia Friday, and Drake Saturday in our latest tournament in the week. No Thanksgiving tournament for the Eastern Washington women's basketball, so they went the week before. Tonight's game up against the St. Mary Gales, and what a tight game you see here. Eagles fall 59-57 despite forcing 22 turnovers and leading at halftime. EWU shot 25% from three compared to an absurd 70% from deep for St. Mary's. 7 for 10 shooting, and yet St. Mary's missed 2 of those total in the final frame. Eastern gets another game in the Aloha State up against the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Sound the alarm, folks. We got an upset alert. Gonzaga Prep Bullpups knock off the 4 seed on the road to earn their first trip to the WIAA 4A state semifinals since their championship winning season in 2015. Gonzaga Prep also never won a true road playoff games, that's excluding the championship, west of the Cascade Mountain Range before just now. The Bullpups now wait for their opponent, the winner of the Arlington versus Camas quarterfinal game tomorrow. The undefeated West Valley Eagles have their quarterfinal game coming up tomorrow. They play the 10-1 defending state champions Anacortes Seahawks on the road. The Seahawks decimated Bainbridge last week 46-0 to earn their final 8 spot. And those two have some history. They faced each other in the first round of the 2022 playoffs in Anacortes, the Seahawks beating the Eagles 28-14 that year before falling to finalist North Kitsap in the quarters. Kickoff for this game is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Stick with us after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
At Numerica, you'll find money answers for loud sneezers. Gesundheit. Get money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford Crew. Black Friday.
What's happening?
It's the extra shipment of Ford trucks and SUVs.
Serious SUV capability.
Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years.
Bronco and Bronco Sport. I can smell the adventure now. Yeah.
It's Black Friday time.
Sign and drive. Bronco family starting at $399 with 0 down, plus a $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Spokane's grand holiday tradition lives downtown at Christmas Tree Elegance in the Davenport Hotel and River Park Square. Fabulous packages are raffled to support our symphony. Feel the spirit December 3rd through the 15th.
There's no place like the road home. Receive a $5,500 bonus on a new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid during the Season of Audi sales event.
Jorge has always put the ones he loves first. But when it comes to caring for his teeth, he's let his own maintenance take a back seat. Well, maybe it's time to shift gears on that. Aspen Dental has complete, affordable care, all under one roof. Plus, $29 exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance. And 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Making it easier to get started with quality care. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
With that Saturday forecast, I don't see any reason why a gal couldn't sleep until noon and then get up, because about that time we'll be drying out. And then mostly staying dry for Sunday.
I wish that I could do that, but I cannot.
Oh,
I will be setting up for a 1-year-old birthday party from about 6 in the morning until noon. But hey, it'll be a great time to be inside. And hey, the weather's been a little dreary today at least, but in downtown Spokane, there's some festive holiday decorations. Mary Sheridan was out there earlier, and she was having a good time, brightening up everyone's spirits. This is the Merry and Magical Lane, which runs along Post Street from Main Avenue to the railroad. There are 100,000 lights on display, decorating trees, lampposts, and River Park Square will be welcoming Santa on Saturday. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, there will also be entertainment from local high schools, music, and holiday treats to enjoy. Santa is coming.
That is exciting. Christmas, almost here. It's coming.
But coming in November, it's like, it's not quite Christmas time yet.
I know.
It's gotta be